It gives one pause to think how brutal, vicious, and inhumane ISIS can be. But we've learned, of course, that the Jordanian pilot, they put him in a cage and burned him to death. If we look around the world, we see what's happened in Canada with terrorism, Australia, all over the European community. Of course, we know what happened in Paris, we know what happened in Belgium. And to think that we, the United States, unlike those other countries who are adding to their money to protect their homeland, we're talking about taking it away. So instead of fighting for the middle class, Republicans are aching for a fight over Homeland Security funding. Why? Because they're mad at President Obama, because they want to deport dreamers. As Martin Heinrich said, and was tweeted by Claire McCaskill, it's obvious the Republicans are more afraid of the dreamers than they are of ISIS. America is facing a real national security threat. And ISIS declaring they intend to reach America soon. We cannot afford to defund the Department of Homeland Security. We all know this is going to end with a bill funding Homeland Security that goes to the President. We'll wind up passing a clean bill, so why stop? Why do we wait?
At lunch, we asked Secretary Johnson what it was like to run the Department of Homeland Security with a continuing resolution. The Department of Homeland Security, whose primary mission is to keep America safe from the threats of terrorism. He said it's like driving a car with a gas tank that only has 5 gallons and not being sure where the next gas station is going to turn up. It's time for Congress to be resolute in its determination to defend America. And instead, the Republicans have a political gambit, a political strategy. They're going to raise a question as to whether or not we are going to properly fund the Department of Homeland Security. I hope the Republican leadership will take that question to the American people.
A year and a half ago, they tried to shut down the government for their own political purposes, following Ted Cruz mindlessly into a cul-de-sac. And they had to give up. They had to wave the white flag. Well, they're at it again. Once again, Ted Cruz has convinced the Republicans that they should shut down a large part of the government until they get their way. It won't work. Democrats are resolute. We will not let that happen, but never, never, never threaten to shut down the government and risk our security until you get your way. We are resolute as a caucus, united unanimously, that will not happen.
And I see a bill that seriously threatens all of the work that we have done recently as Republicans and Democrats to keep our government functioning, because the bill that they sent over is simply unacceptable.